up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Bree.
And I'm Evan.
And this is Reality Check TV. Here's where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple. So if you love reality TV like we do, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new review.
Once again, with the quickness.
Yes.
With the quickness.
What's up, beautiful people? I hope you are having a great week. We a little late, but we're actually on time. So thank you for coming back. Thank you so much from the views last week of our premiere episode of the second part of this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
So you got anything else for the people?
No, we had some technical difficulties yesterday, but we got it correct, so we're back.
Yes. That's it.
I'm ready to dig in.
Let's get into it. So Mel and Kiki are finishing their conversation. And y'all, honestly, not even going to do a blow by blow. I think she did whatever she's being accused of. I think
it's on the tape.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. She says that, you know, she can't confirm nor deny if she did anything or if that's her on the tape because her lawyers and everybody's like she can't say anything about it. And I'm just kind of like, that's not how any of that works. Like, you can say, you know, it wasn't me and, you know, it will be proven in court. Like, you can just say something like that, but she didn't. And just the way she's been acting, it's giving there's an issue here. Like I said, I do think that there is a drug issue. That's just my feelings. Nothing is confirmed. Just my opinion. I just want to put emphasis on just my opinion. Her scene was very cringy. Like, do we have to deal with this all season? Like, because I don't want to. Because it's just very uncomfortable. Like, seeing her talking to Mel just was a little weird. I can see that there's some issues going on there. I honestly don't even know why they asked Kiki to be on the show. I mean, I get it because she's Letitia's cousin and they are butting heads all the time and there could be something there, but I just feel like neither one of them are honest. And, you know, they present to the world what they want to present. So I just think it's a waste of time.
Kiki, you gotta fire your lawyers, man. If they're telling you not to say such and such or defend yourself at the moment.
No lawyer told her to say that. Just want to put that out there.
If that's the case, you gotta fire your lawyer.
Yeah.
When it comes to her on the show, I guess production thought that they can somehow hit a home run by bringing Letitia's cousin in, as if Letitia's the main character. But anyway, Kiki's given nothing. And it's sad that your storyline is theft.
Right. Really quick, the last thing that Mel and Kiki talked about during the scene is just, of course, Kiki talking about how she's just so disappointed Letitia didn't reach out to her. Mel had to bring her back down to earth and was like, listen, did you reach out to her when she was going through issues on social media with her mom and her husband and all of that foolishness? And Kiki admitted that she didn't. And Mel's like, yeah, like you shouldn't expect for her to go above and beyond when you guys aren't really in the best place right now. And that's just reality. Like, I don't feel like that was Mel saying something so deep, you know. It doesn't matter the fact that Letitia is Letitia. It's just right is right and wrong is wrong. So, like, it's foolish to expect for her to reach out to you during this time when you don't do the same for her and you guys are barely talking. It's just dumb. So it's a waste of time. So we're done talking about it.
They just never gonna get right.
Yeah.
They're just those two cousins that will never get right.
Well, meanwhile, Mel did say, like, oh, Kiki, are you coming to Tiffany's Sip and See? That's what I'm going to call it the rest of this episode. I know Tiffany called it something else last week, but I don't care. It's a sip and see to me. So she asked Kiki if she was gonna come. Kiki was like, oh yeah, like I need some girl time or whatever. Like I would like to go. And I'm like, but why? Why would you want to go? You guys don't even like each other. Let's stop this. Like it doesn't even make any sense. But we realize that you need a scene. So yeah, that's how that works.
So the next thing we had Letitia pulling up on Marsau at their original house, in which Marsau is doing some renovations. And the first thing Tisha talks about is she wants to know what is our budget for furniture, and that must have struck a nerve with Marsau, because out of nowhere Marsau kind of went into this mode as if I ain't trying to talk about that, like why we gotta buy? Why can't we just rent? Why can't we rent our own furniture? Blah 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 blah. But I said it once, I said it again. Your pockets are tight when you have to pay lawyer fees when you're getting sued.
I want to stick on this conversation because, y'all, if this is not criminal activity, I don't know what is. The way that he manipulated this conversation and like play like word gymnastics with Letitia in this scene is so sad, right? Like I always describe their scenes together as sad. I don't respect Letitia. I just don't. I really don't. For many reasons, and just kind of like how she has conducted herself on this show. But she comes to the house with the intentions of asking one question, one discussion, and that is about the budget for the furniture. Mm-hmm. This man says to her they should rent to own furniture. Like he want to go to Rent-A-Center and see if, they can apply, do like a little credit background check and make sure, see how much he is able to rent. Mm-hmm. Like that's what he wants to do. If that is not the most, before I even get there too, because I'm so agitated by them two. I think this scene also made it clear just how bad their money management skills are. Mm-hmm. I remember a couple of seasons back, do not quote me on what season it was, and I'm pretty sure somebody will say it down in the comments, but there was an episode where they had like a financial advisor. That's what I'm gonna call the person. Mm-hmm. Somebody to help them with managing their money, their personal savings, right? So the person comes in, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Marsau that did it because Tisha surprised him with a therapy session, right? And so as I guess like a get back, he then surprised her with the financial advisor because that entire season he made it seem like she was bad with money and she just spends it on like material things and like she's just, just out here spending, right? And spending his money to be specific. Mm-hmm. So when the lady comes and they're having the conversation, Tisha like tells him like, listen, the money that I spend is not just for me, but I'm also the one financially making sure that our children are okay. Like I'm spending money on our kids. And Marsau, again, is just making it seem like she's spending all her money on bags and stuff. Yeah. So the lady, like, does a tour of their house because he also was just talking about all of the clothes and makeup and crap that she got. They go into the bedroom, which I really tried not to throw any shade on that. Get to that in a second. And even the financial lady was just kind of like, yeah, this seems pretty reasonable. Like, it doesn't seem like anything that is beyond your means. Right. Marsau's point was a flop. But then they go outside and you have this luxury sports car that Marsau just purchased, I guess, at that time. And it has the butterfly doors. I've talked about this scene before in past reviews. And I thought it was the most ghetto, fabulous, hood rich thing in the world to have a car like that and you have no garage. Is it just me? Again, I've said this before. I just think that is very tacky. It also proves where your priorities lie. Mm-hmm. So then when we fast forward to this conversation and she's talking about furniture budget for their home, for their family, he then, or she then brings up, like, you're spending most of your money on things for you. Once again, I'm talking about stuff for the family. Yep. Like you're buying this car, or he wrapped his car and like all of that stuff. And he's like, are you serious? So I can't do stuff for myself? Like, you're trying to make it seem like I'm selfish. So he changes the conversation, manipulates the conversation, that ends up flipping it on her. And she, at the end of the day, is now apologizing to him for even bringing it up. And so now they're arguing about what the original discussion wasn't even about. So they're no longer talking about the furniture budget. Now we're arguing about how much money we spend on ourselves. Allowance. And our allowance and what that looks like, and versus your bag versus my car. Like, we're now debating that. Like, it was so dumb. Like, I can't think of another word but dumb, and telling of just how selfish both of them are, how both of them do not know how to manage their money, how both of them have not prioritized each other or their family, specifically Marsau. Marsau does not prioritize his wife and his kids. He just doesn't. And that's just what we see. Clearly, you're not. We're talking about furniture. You're now switching it and trying to say that I like your car and what your expenses should come first. Or like, even like, oh, all the money that I put into this house for the family and all this other stuff. It's like, why even bring that up and throw that in someone's face when it's for us? Right. Like, it's not something for her. It's for us. It's for our kids.
And like I said, obviously, they need more than a financial advisor. I don't know what's the next step. Marsau, I guess he's too busy putting his money into trying to create a look or trying to maintain a look.
I think both of them are. Yeah. I would say the same thing about Letitia. Mm-hmm. I'm a really big advocate on not belittling someone based off of monetary things, their financial situation. I'm just really big on that. More so because at the end of the day, all of this stuff, all of these blessings can be taken away, snatched away at the drop of a hat. Anything can happen. And I think we've all learned that from COVID and just all of our personal struggles and things that we go through in life. Money can be, taken away at any point. Mm-hmm. So I don't talk about people's finances. And on top of that, it's not my business. But when you open the door, right? Opening the door means now you are belittling other people for what they do not have. When you are critiquing other people and you live in the biggest glass house on the hill, that's when I feel like everybody has the right to have an opinion on your situation. Yep. That's just my stance on it. And I'm sorry, but Letitia and Marsau, not only are y'all giving scammer, Marsau, scammer. Letitia just gives dumb. And that's not an excuse, and I'm not taking any type of accountability from her because she's a grown woman and she should know better when it comes to a lot of different things. And she proves that she knows better, but she does not stand up to her husband at all. And she lets him get away with pretty much like criminal activity. So that's that on that. But with him, it's giving scammer. Mm-hmm. And both of y'all are giving hood rich. Both of y'all.
Yeah, for me, I feel it's too much of trying to keep up with the Jones. Or should I say trying to keep up with the males. Marsau, like I said, he loves, we said it before, said it, and we'll say it again. He loves to act like he got all the answers. He's the smartest one in the room. He let it feel like he know what he's doing. But through these seasons, I'm not seeing the proof.
I like Marsau and his wife. I can't, or it's Letitia and her husband. I cannot, like, it's so agitating watching them because you also have to think to yourself, you're like, you can manipulate your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You can play in her face. You cannot play in our face.
Mm-mm.
And that's just what it is. As viewers, like, they're really getting on TV, saying the things that they're saying, moving the way they're moving, which is very shisty, by the way. And it's like they're doing it, like, out in the open. Like, it's okay. Like, we're not going to fact check. Like, we haven't seen... For the main fact that... What are we in? Season, like, 6?
Season 8.
Damn, really?
Mm-hmm. Well, no. No, we're on season 6. Season 6.
Okay. I'm like, are we sure?
No, ready to go season 8.
Okay, yeah. So I know it's been like 6 years, 5 or 6 years that they have been on our televisions, okay? And for them to be even staying in an apartment, they have one house that we know for sure that they own. That's the one that they're renovating. And even that, like, I'm like, where is the money going? They do have black, but Alabama people, Huntsville people, is it successful? Let me know. Just let me know. Let me know if it's successful. Are people there? Because every time they are filming at Black, nobody's there. So I'm like, we saw them break down for the first break, like, is that what it's called?
Break ground.
Break ground. That's what I mean. Break down. Break ground at a property for the first time in 6 years on TV. And even that looked staged. That didn't look real. We haven't seen them actually negotiate real business deals. We haven't seen them sit with their team. The fact that they don't have a team. I just, like, this is so fake and fraudulent. Like, I just, like, how can you do this on national television, but then at the same time point fingers at everybody else? But we gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. I'm trying to stick to this scene. Like, I cannot believe that these people are on TV doing this. It's sad.
Well, you know, it's supposedly reality TV.
So at the end of this conversation with Marsau, Letitia then asked that she really came to talk to him about getting a new car.
A new SUV, and she already has one. Keeping up with the Joneses.
Which goes to my original point about priorities.
Yep. You already have SUV.
Next. Okay, so the next scene we have Tiffany and Stormy. They're meeting up at what looks like a venue for the Sip and See. So they're talking about the event and trying to plan for that. They talk about, or I think Stormy asks, like, who all was invited. Tiffany runs down the list. That's when it was brought up that Kiki was invited. Stormy was like, oh, girl, like, you're inviting Kiki? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And Tiffany's like, well, why? Like, of course, like, I'll invite her. I'll extend the invitation. And, and Stormy's like, well, this is a very, like, intimate event. This is people meeting your baby for the first time. Like, I wouldn't think that you would want her to be there, seeing how you guys get into it every time you're in the same space.
All the time.
Makes sense. Tiffany was like, I mean, as long as she don't steal nothing, we should be fine. And I'm like, Tiffany, this is why you have no friends. That's number one.
She gonna steal the baby.
Number two, girl, your answer should have been, well, production needs us all to be at the same place at the same time. So, I just offered up this event for everybody to be able to get some camera time. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. We've now all watched reality TV for years now. Let's be honest. Okay. Anyways, so Tiff also brings up to Stormy, like, well, are you going to be cool with Tisha being here? Like, the last time we were together, y'all were getting into it. Things got a little spicy. Stormy's like, girl, like, to be honest, I don't really have no issue with Tisha. My issue's not with Tisha at all, actually. My issue's with her husband.
Marsala.
Because he acts like a bitch, which is true. Big facts. Also, it's like he acts like he's the smartest dude in the room, which is also big facts. I've been said that about the Scotts. Ben said that. Go back and watch the old reviews. Ben said that. Him and his raggedy brother. And I've always said that Maurice, in my opinion, has that issue more. But to be honest, they both cut from the same cloth. They both act like they the smartest dudes in the room, and they're very dumb. Like they're not smart, like at all. They use words that they don't know the meaning to them. They use phrases, don't know the meaning to them. Like they're not bright. It's just that Marsau has a really dumb wife, so that's why his situation works. And Kimmy's playing dumb in order to exist in her marriage. And that's just unfortunate because, again, you can't play in my face. Like, we can't do that. But that's Stormy's feelings on it. So then they start talking about Tiffany having a hard time since the baby has been born, and like she's really struggling. She's struggling trying to balance career and family. And is his name Lewis. I was about to say Luke. Lewis hasn't been there. He's been on the road, which we kind of could tell because he has barely been involved in this show this season. Here's my thing, Tiffany. Listen, postpartum is real. One of my best friends just had a baby. She's going through it. I know first time moms go through it. You know, even if you're not a first time mom, moms go through it after giving birth, just trying to balance everything. However, they were having these issues before the baby even got here. Tiffany not being able to balance work and life was already an issue. And if I'm not mistaken, that was Lewis's point as far as having another baby. She was the one that was pushing to have another baby. And his stance was like, your work-life balance now already sucks.
Yep.
So why would we add that into the mix? Well, they proceeded. Right. So I'm not saying that I don't feel bad for her. I really did. In this conversation, I felt really bad for her because I was like, damn, like, you know, all of this really could have been avoided. But let me not go there about why I feel like she really had the baby. But I'm going to just say, Tiff, this is really hard to talk about because these were issues beforehand. And I feel like you definitely need to come back down to reality and recognize that you have to do something about you spreading yourself too thin. Also, there needs to be a conversation with Lewis, which I'm assuming based off of the previews for the rest of the season, they are going to have a conversation. I also don't understand why he would get on the road after just having a baby. Like the baby at this point is an infant. So I don't know why he would get on the road. Like again, priorities. I'm just like, what's really going on? And it makes you just wonder, like, the foundation was already shaky before the baby came into the picture. So why add?
I don't know. During her pregnancy at the little baby shower, you know, we got a dose of the concept of Tiffany does not know how to sit her ass down and does not know how to relax. Because even that scene when she was in the bed and Lewis was talking about his worries about her health and stuff, like Tiffany, how should I say it? I can tell she's a hard worker. I can tell she likes to center her life around work, but she does have to come to reality. Like, you wanted a baby. This is what comes with a baby. You need to dim down some of what you have going on and put more emphasis on the baby, especially being this young. Yeah, Lewis, you know, I don't know. I know he's with a traveling baseball team that may be in season. You know, maybe there could have been an assistant coach. Maybe that could have traveled and him stay home. Don't know too much about that. I don't even know
too much about what like Lewis.
He owns a gym.
I know that, but like, what does that involvement look like? Like she said, he's on the road, he's traveling, so
he's a coach.
And okay, so but like, what does that schedule even look like? You know,
I mean, baseball. So baseball is one of the sports where they play multiple games a week. So you're going to be on the road. just like basketball. Football is the only sport that plays one game a week.
Mm-hmm.
So with baseball, yeah, he's gonna be on the road. But like I said, with the new baby, he could have got an assistant maybe to cover for a little bit while he stay at home and help out.
Right.
But I don't know what agreement they had going on. But no, Tiffany seems like she's having difficulty with alternating her schedule, as well as trying to get accustomed to mommy life again.
Yeah, I mean, because also, mind you, she reminded us in this scene that she also got 2 other
Yep.
boys. Like
Yep.
she has, I think one's a teenager, or both of them are teenagers.
Mhm.
So she's also dealing with their schedule too. She was already in mommy mode, but again, this, you know, this is coming from a place where this couple had the privilege and luxury of planning this pregnancy. And so when you have that opportunity, I just feel like, you know, I hold you a little bit more accountable when we're having this type of conversation. Because you're just like, well, weren't these issues or hurdles that you guys were facing beforehand? And so did you guys sit down and really talk about the expectations and what the first year is going to look like? And I don't believe that they did. I don't know why Tiffany wanted to have another baby. That's basically what I was holding back on saying. I have no idea why she wanted to have another baby. It's just
it doesn't go with how she's living right
how
now.
She's moving.
Yeah,
It doesn't. So I don't know, Tiffany, but I felt bad for you, girl, because now you sitting there and you're really struggling, and it's just like, I don't know.
So the next scene we have the Scotts. And when I mean Scotts, I'm Marsau and his assistant Letitia meeting up for dinner with the Fletchers, Nell and Mr. Christopher. I'll be honest with you, I was kind of random. To me, I didn't expect them to meet up, for dinner or whatnot. I don't know. I've never really seen them in too many scenes together. Just caught me off guard, but I don't know. Maybe this is their introduction to one another.
Well, the reason why they met is because the Fletchers wanted to know why they were not included in the Black Expo.
Oh yeah.
So they gave the reason.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm talking about how, I'm just saying in general, like how they met. I know how they met in general is through Mel and Martell. So while sitting down eating, Nell brought up to Marsau about why they were not invited to the Black Expo, in which Marsau claims that he did not know what they do. Nell claims and Christopher claims that they've told Marsau before what they do. But as we know, Marsau has selective hearing.
I disagree. I disagree. I think he hears very well. I mean, you don't see what he was doing in this scene?
I mean, I already know what Marsau does every time he talks.
No, but do you understand what he was doing in this scene? Because that's what I'm talking about. I feel like now we need to call it what it is. Like, no, he knew what they did. Yeah, so I just want to make that clear, because we're not going to let him, get off scot-free. He knows exactly who they are and what they do. He was very aware. But you can continue, and I'll give my opinion.
Marsau loves to act funny, But Marsau said a crazy little comment when they said, what we do. And Marsau's like, well, what I thought was, Chris, you make all the money, Nell, you just sit there looking pretty. And that definitely took Nell off the rocker. Very disrespectful. I know, but we know, y'all know Marsau. Y'all, it's like, did y'all not see that coming? Like the comments, he be ready with the shots.
Okay, let's just dissect this, because you're taking too long. let's dissect this. First of all, when Marsau and Tisha sit with the Fletchers, like I said, like we both just said, the Fletchers came to meet with them because they want to understand why they were not included in the Black Expo, right? Here's my first issue. My first issue is with the Fletchers. Why even have a conversation with them? Why even want to be a part of the Black Expo? At the end of the day, you are the friends of Mel and Martell, right? And you have tried to play the middleman between the two of them. So I just felt like I know that they know Mel's thoughts on this whole expo thing, because Mel didn't even participate. She showed up, but she didn't participate.
Right.
And they watched the show just like we watched the show. So why would you even want to be a part of something like that with Marsau's name attached to it? That alone, I was just kind of like, okay, once again, let's be honest here, y'all. Let's ask, why was I not included? Because y'all know we need to film too. Let's be real, but they will never do that. That's just my wishful thinking. Because this was pointless. They did not need to be a part of the Black Expo. Period. Stormy is sitting here regretting that she was even a part of the shit. Like, so it was just pointless, right? So then, like you said, the comment that Marsau makes about, you know, I just thought, Chris, you just made a lot of money and you were just his pretty wife. Marsau is a disgusting human being, right? He's disgusting. And not only that, he is so insecure. His insecurity is his Achilles heel, if like for real. The fact that in 2 episodes, he has tried to belittle Stormy, Tiffany, and let me not say just him and his raggedy wife, right? It's been Tiffany with the whole, we don't even know what Tiffany does. And Kimmy even feeding into that, like, oh, like if you paid me $1,000, I wouldn't know what Tiffany does. So she's not, so basically you're saying she's not worthy. So let's say that. Let's talk about Stormy, because you felt a way that she came to your event, showed y'all up, very professional with her whole setup, the whole booth, everything. You felt away with that. So then you try to stronghold her for $100. Didn't get the response that you was expecting. So then you tried to belittle her business, but then you tried really hard to emasculate her husband by was like, oh, like you sell women's hair care products. And it's like, dude, are you kidding me? First of all, I don't know what point he was trying to make with Courtney and that foolishness when men pretty much own half of the ish in this country, in the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, are you kidding me? Most hair care lines, especially black hair care lines, are owned by men.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? But I don't know what type of point he was trying to make with that, but only, I guess, trying to emasculate Courtney by way of his wife. Because again, you're jealous at the fact that this is a successful couple. Mm-hmm. Their marriage seems healthy and whole, and they getting money together.
Yep.
So you're jealous of that. So let me try to emasculate you in this way, even though I personally don't feel like men can be emasculated by other people, but that's another conversation too. You tried to do that with Courtney. Then we went to Miss Nell and Chris Fletcher.
Yep.
By saying that, oh, I just thought you were his pretty wife. Like, are you kidding me? Not only are you playing in Chris's face, but you're also disrespecting his wife. And this is my problem with Chris, because in that moment, Chris, I know cameras are there, but the way that you were supposed to gather Marsau, the way that he was supposed to gather this asshole, he did not. The same way Courtney did. Without putting hands on him.
And Marsau should be thankful.
And very, very thankful. But Courtney completely sunned Marsau without saying too many words.
Mm-hmm. Drop the mic, dog.
Chris, to me, the way that he disrespected you and your wife was beyond me. You know that he's playing in your face, because since this show has been introduced to us, Chris has been in the mix. On top of that, you think you slick, Marsau. The only reason why you're coming at them in this way, and then all of a sudden you don't know what they do, you didn't know what Chris really did, is because, 2 seasons ago or not, when his ass was in Atlanta with Chris, and Chris didn't basically stand up for him and say, or cover for him and was like, yeah, he was with me the entire time. Oh yeah, like Marsau, we see you. We see you. So you want to throw this jab because of that. Like, let's come on. Like, let's not play this game. On top of that, it's jealousy because they are a power couple in Huntsville. That's how Mel and Martell introduced them to us season 1.
Yeah. Jealousy and envy.
This woman has had a daycare for 29 years. And he's talking about, oh, I didn't know you had a daycare. And his own wife looks at him and was like, yeah, I knew she had a daycare. Everybody probably knows that she has a daycare. They're in Huntsville. Like, are you kidding me? So it's the playing in people's face. And the fact that he's able to get away with it with everybody that he's dealing with the exception of Stormy, because Stormy got him together. Courtney got him together. Like, you're not going to play with them. They saw it firsthand. That's why Courtney said you always in women's business. And this is the type of ish that I'm talking about. This is what he was talking about. He has a jealousy issue of women, Black successful women that's doing the damn thing without men. He's envious of it. He hates it. He despises it because he doesn't like women. But on top of that, he's just jealous. He has so much envy.
And it's just for him. It's many aspects of jealousy. Marsau. Ever since watching this show, it just always seems like it's, of course, keeping up with the Joneses, and it's just one of them things where it's like he just does not seem like the type that if he has success, he wants to help others. It's all about me, 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 me. And what got me to is they love to talk so much about the expo, saying it's about the community. No, it's not. Please stop using the community as a shield for y'all shit.
They had to put something together. They had to put together like some type of event really quick so they can have scenes on this show to once again deflect from the fact that there are lawsuits against them or him or whatever. That's what this is about. And they're allowing him to get away with it. Like I said, Chris and Nell, y'all really pissed me off in this moment because I was like, they tried to get him together, but they failed.
Yeah, they failed.
they failed.
They were a little hesitant to wanting to really open their mouths.
So then, not only did he play in your face about you and your accomplishments and everything that you have done, not only for the city of Huntsville, but also just, career-wise, in the path that you've laid out for all of them, right? Within the real estate arena or industry. But then he goes on to say, I think it was, did Chris ask why he didn't have everybody as speakers or something like that?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
They said something centered around the comeback group. Talking about, were you
guys able to get all six or whatever? And so Marsau answers that and was basically like, Martell was there and like he kind of just worked the crowd and Mel showed up, but yet she didn't speak or have anything there. And then Nell was like, well, yeah, I heard you guys weren't paying any of the speakers. So then Marsau then decides to go on the attack and was like, yeah, basically the speakers, they really should be paying us to speak. He said that.
I just think it's funny though, because
he said that.
So much of the thing about Mel, his issue of Mel wanting to ask for money to speak. And
not just her, because
I know it wasn't just her, but the thing is, it's like, dude, you should be thankful she showed up.
Well, again, getting to that, the fact that he said that speakers, whoever it is, speakers should pay him to speak.
And nobody's gonna do that.
Nigga, that's not how any of this works. That's not how business works. That's not how events and expos and all, that's not how none of this works. Nobody pays you to speak at your event. What are you talking about? That's what I mean by like he's on TV saying things like so confidently, like it's right. And it's like, do you know you're on TV? Like, I was like floored. I was floored by him saying speakers should pay him to speak.
Not realistic.
That does not happen.
Not realistic.
At all. That's not how business works.
I'm not surprised because in the episodes leading up to this expo, when we saw when we saw that PowerPoint, oh my gosh, trust me, I'm not surprised. After you saw that PowerPoint, you really can't be surprised.
The meetings, we knew that this was going to be trash.
You can't be surprised how it turned out.
And the meetings were trash. I mean, like you said, when they showed up meeting one and they had one PowerPoint slide, they had no plan.
It was
no marketing plan, no venue, no layout, no nothing. There was nothing.
It was downhill from there. Downhill from there. I mean, you just like after that, there was no expectation at all.
So then he says that, I wouldn't pay somebody that just sells t-shirts or haven't been in business long enough or whatever bullshit that he was saying. And Chris was like, oh, well, yeah, you're not going to shade the Holtz now. Like, you're not going to pretend like you worked for them at one point. Mm-hmm. You were working for Holt and Holt. Mm-hmm. So let's not do that. And then Marsau is like, well, where are they now? Right? And this is what I'm talking about, where Miss Nell, I understand you can be real classy, but you can still get somebody together. And to me, it's all about the loyalty as well. I don't know how Mel feels about this scene after watching it on TV. Like, we all watched it on TV. But for me, this would have been a hard no. Well, and if you a Scorpio, like I know you a Scorpio, this is a hard no for you.
Well, I mean, I already said.
We know how you feel about Miss Nell.
That's what I'm saying. She's seasonal. Like, you can't be so. I'm not surprised.
We already know how you feel about Miss Nell, but this was really the moment for me because I'm just like, you can't be talking about my homegirl in this way. You can't, especially knowing what I know, because I know the Fletchers know the history, just like pretty much probably anybody in Huntsville knows the history of the Scotts and the Holtz, what used to be the Holtz, and how, again, they were letting you borrow one of their cars. Mm-hmm. They put y'all on to the real estate game. Like, what are we even talking about? How dare you bite the hand that feeds you? Are you kidding me? You are eating to this day because of Melody, Cherie Rogers, and Martell Hope. That's why y'all eating. What are we talking about? More so Mel, because let's be very clear. This is Mel's vision. Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's Mel. By the way of Carlos King. So what are we talking about right now? At any point, she could pull the plug on everything. And then what we doing? That was real wild to me. The audacity of both of you and your raggedy wife to get on TV and to play this character. You're playing this character. You want to be the adversary of Mel so bad that this is what you want to do. Now you are cutting off your nose despite your face. That's wild to me. I don't know what their problem is. I really, really don't. Because even at the beginning of the conversation, when their argument of why they didn't invite them to be a part of the expo was because, they didn't know what they did. Once that argument was completely debunked, then it was, you guys are friends with Mel and Martell or the Holtz. And, that's just a line that we just didn't want to cross. And it's like, bitch, try something else. Try your new excuse, because that one's real tired. And like Mel says at the end, and I'll repeat it later, but I got to say it in this moment. It wasn't a problem when you was inviting Martell to every single event. So like Miss Nell said, your problem really is with Mel, even though Mel was at the expo. So that don't even make any sense. And then I thought that you guys were Letitia, trying so hard to just be cool and steady with Mel. Mm-hmm. So what are we talking about? And if this was really an expo for highlighting Black businesses within the city of Huntsville and giving back to the community, if it was really about that, at the end of the day, it would have taken nothing for y'all to ask the Fletchers, hey, this is what we're doing. Just want to extend the invitation. Here you go. This is the itinerary. This is how you can participate if you want to. This is how you can support if you want to. But like, what are we talking about? But you was pulling out reasons out your ass as to why you didn't invite them to be a part of this event. Y'all are fraudulent. And again, call the police. I told y'all to call the police on him a long time ago, specifically Marsau. He got to go to jail. He got to.
I just hope they got some good lawyers because...
He got to. He got to go to jail. He got to go to jail. He got to go to jail. This is criminal.
That, and like I said, it's just so... it's just so crazy. Watching them set up for Black, watching the whole expo, these people did not know what they signed up for. The people with the business owners and stuff set up their little stations and stuff. The ones that got charged. I'm talking about the expo was junky. Let's just call it a thing.
It was trash, but that's not even the point. To me, it was this scene with and him really trying to talk about all Mel do is sell T-shirts. We gonna get to it.
We know he has a weird, he has a weird loving relationship for Mel.
It's envy.
He has a big crush on her, but he envies her too.
Yeah, but he hates her, and the fact that she is a woman. He does because he also doesn't like women nor respect them. So it's like you said. It's to me, it's not weird. Does he have a fetish? Absolutely. I think there's a fetish there too.
Yeah,
with successful women. I really do.
He is very infatuated with Melody Cherie. Okay, so near the end of the dinner, Tisha decides to ask the Fletchers, have they ever experienced cheating in their relationship? And first and foremost, y'all already know, Marsau already, this is not happening. He's already trying to shut shit down. But the Fletchers, they weren't offended by the question. They did say yes. And before they can even get into it, Marsau shuts everything down. And once again, and you guys have seen it episode to episode, every season, Marsau has still not answered that question directly. He goes around the question every time about if he's ever cheated in his marriage or has he done something. And Tisha lets him get by scot-free every time. He has not answered this question. And he does not want to be a part of a conversation that deals with infidelity. So, of course, when Tisha asked that, he definitely is like, oh, no. Tisha, I know you're trying to find help. Even Nell said it. Nell was like, I feel like that was a cry for help.
Blink twice if you need to be free.
Right. It's just so funny because Tisha knows the truth. She's staying with this dude for a lifestyle. Well, I mean, we don't know much more after this lawsuit. But
lifestyle?
I don't know. But
what lifestyle?
I know. Something he's selling to her.
What?
Whatever dream he's trying to sell her.
I don't think he sells a dream to her.
But,
lifestyle.
I find it interesting she asked that because that's very telling about where they are in their marriage. And I wonder if Tisha's going to keep bringing this up throughout the season.
I mean, I feel like Tisha asked this question to everybody. And it's like she doesn't even realize what she's doing because we're all looking at her like, girl, like, is this because you are experiencing this? Like, because the question was very random. I don't know if because of like poor editing, but they're having this conversation about the whole business stuff and him throwing shade at Mel and Martell, more so Mel. And then it just cuts to, have you guys ever experienced cheating? And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what? Okay.
It seemed like she wanted to ask that the whole night.
On top of that, the Fletchers said it seasons ago that they had. Like, we all know it because it's been said on the show. Like, this isn't in private. They've admitted that. So she already knew the answer to the question. So it just makes it seem to me, not only, I think she was also throwing a dig. That's one. I do believe that. I know Nell said that she kind of felt like it was a little bit of a dig. I definitely think it was a dig. And then at the same time, she brings it up because that is what she's experiencing.
Yep.
So, therapy, there's a lot of resources for therapy, y'all. I just want to put that out there. That's not even going to help, though. I'm not talking about couples therapy. Individual counseling is a thing. It's, it changes lives.
Marsau was not for it.
Okay, so it is the day of the sip and see. Tiffany is walking up with her little sundress on. She's excited. She opens the door and nothing is set up. Mind you guys, I should have mentioned it earlier. She hired an event planner to plan this event. It was supposed to be like this small little intimate, cute little event. But when she walks in, ain't nothing together. All I'm gonna say about this, because we're not gonna harp too much on this. Stormy walks in. Stormy's like, okay, like, what's going on? Can I help? Kimmy walks in. She's like, okay, it don't seem like y'all ready. And I know I'm not early, so y'all definitely late. What's going on? She's like, well, grab some pink gloves. Let's try to get this stuff together. All I'm gonna say with that is this pissed me off because I'm looking at the event planning company or the lady. Nobody was moving with a sense of urgency. That was infuriating me as someone that has put together events. Hence why I was really upset about this whole Black Expo stuff. On top of that, I'm just like, girl, checks stop at this point. You ain't getting paid. You ain't getting paid because you did not provide the service. So we're done. That was infuriating. Balloons are still in the bag. Food is still in containers. Like, ain't nothing ready. Unacceptable.
That literally looked like it's shit. Looked like it was put together the same day.
The hour of? That's what it looked like. That's unacceptable.
Balloons in the bag.
Right.
They're still over here making the food.
Right.
Damn, and you said the people that come in, I know those are friends, Stormy and Kimmy. It's
right.
Like, can y'all throw some gloves on and help?
Right, and it should never be that way. Nah. But I think what was really making me mad, as someone that has done event planning, it was just the way that they were moving. Yeah. They were moving if they had all the time in the world, like, oh, girl, just relax. We got it. And because Tiffany's like, oh, can I help do something? There's like, no, just stand there and look pretty. It's like, girl, no. Like, y'all are not moving. Like, let's go.
They were definitely slow motion.
Yes, that type of stuff makes me very upset. Definitely like, I cannot. So like I said, Stormy and Kimmy showed up first. They're sitting there, they're talking to Tiffany, and then Mel walks in. Mel gives, everybody their hugs, their kisses. Oh, hey, Stormy. And Stormy didn't speak. Stormy, I don't want to hear about this later. Because it's on tape. We not going to go through this. We not going to go through this again. That lady spoke. You did not speak. You acted like you did not hear her. You rumbling in your purse. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear about this later. I better not hear it at the reunion, and I don't want to hear about it at another time on another episode. Mm-hmm. Don't bring it up because she spoke. Thank you. That's all I got to say about that. But all of them are just all around talking about, again, everything that happened at the expo. And Tiffany's like, yeah, I invited Tisha, and but me and her didn't have a problem. Kimmy corrects her and was like, well, you kind of did. And whatever, Kimmy. And Tiffany's like, well, I mean, it was really between her and Stormy. Stormy says her piece. She was like, I don't have no problem with that girl. It's mainly with her husband. And Mel's like, oh, I missed all of this. You got into it with Marsau. I missed all of that. Y'all doing too much. That's basically what she's saying. Then Miss Nell get here to give Mel the update on her lunch that her husband had with Dumb and Dumber. And Mel is like, it's really funny how first our friendship is the reason why they didn't reach out to you guys for this event, but it wasn't a problem when you guys were patronizing their business. And I said, boom, that part. Mm-hmm. Boom, that part. Because the Fletchers have been at every big event. Yeah. Like they're in the background. So then she was like, it's also really sad that you sitting here counting and worrying about my coins when you got a $5 million lawsuit held over your head. And I was like, bam, that part right there.
Go scrub the dishes.
That part right there. The audacity. And like Mel said, I'm still the reason why there are checks with your name on it. Because I had a vision and a purpose. And you eating off of that. And it's really sad how these black men go out of their way, like literally go out of their way to belittle, criticize, talk about black women that are successful. It's sad. It's real sad. And it's upsetting me and my homegirls. We are upset about it. It's weird. It's giving real bitch made. And we're over it. Mel just dropped the mic right then and there. Everything that Mel said in that last scene was like the exact words that I was going to say in this video when we got to the scene with them having lunch with the Fletchers. I literally, y'all think I'm lying? Everything that she said was literally what I wrote down in my notes for the episode. And then we get to this scene of her and Nell talking, and she said it. So I was like, okay, so now I can't repeat it. But Mel, me and you are here because this is a big problem. This has been like the theme of Love and Marriage Huntsville from the very beginning. And like Mel said, like, you want to talk about me selling t-shirts. First of all, this girl got a whole production company. Let's like what are we talking about? What was it this season when she was having a meeting with her whole team?
In the beginning,
she had like an international PR agent. She had, like, are you kidding me? On top of the fact that we all know that she has her skincare line, which has always been a thing. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? But you want to talk about selling t-shirts when y'all are selling t-shirts with black on it.
That nobody be there.
That nobody buys. And then you have Tisha's corny ass selling mugs talking about the blueprint, which once again came from Mel in season 1. So what are you talking about? You're constantly eating off of this woman. She is the reason why y'all are eating at this point. What are you talking about? Even when she gave you guys the platform, what have y'all done with it? Y'all have done nothing with it. What are you talking? More so because y'all are not likable. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how they're not likable. Let's talk about how they're not likable. Let's talk about that.
No, there's no humble.
Right.
There's so much jealousy, so much greed. And you know, it's one of those things where
their crab in a barrel ass mindset is so whack and tired and old. And the reason why us as black people, especially successful black people, people that are entrepreneurs, why we are constantly going head to head with each other is because of niggas like y'all. Mm-hmm. Because y'all hating outside of the club.
Because it just grinds their gears to see others, striving. Especially Marsau. Like I said, Letitia's the follower. Marsau's just, if he see anybody else doing better. Marsau will get over on folks now. He seemed like that type.
They are, you would think that by this time they would learn the lesson that, you being my adversary, you being my enemy is not in your best interest. It don't work out well for you. And I'm speaking on Mel's behalf. It don't work well. Where's destiny? It doesn't work out. And Stormy caught her lesson real early. That's why she will never do business with y'all. What are we talking about?
Just continue doing business with Maurice and Kimmy.
Oh, please don't. Thank God we didn't see him this episode. So let's not bring him up this episode. Because I cannot.
They gave us a break.
I cannot. But I'm done with this, guys. Like, I don't even know. Like, how do we continue to review the show? How do we review the show? Because I just feel like at this point we'll be constantly, like, repeating ourselves. Because they're just dumb.
Well, they gave us a break on Maurice this episode. Maybe we'll get a break on Marsau next episode.
No, because he's going to be sitting down with Mel, and Mel's going to get him together. Now that, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm waiting for that.
Marsau can't wait. He's ready to meet her at the table. I'm sure he's going to have some roses for her, have some chocolate hearts.
He's such a punk.
Because he feels like
he's such a punk. He with his corny as he was just the corny dude when they were younger. Like, he's so corny. You're such a goofball. I'm done.
But yeah, to go with that, ever since the previews, I've been ready to see that scene with Mel sitting down Marsau, because she just looked like she tore his ass out of the frame. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's either going to give him more ammo or she's going to be even more in love. We'll see how he feels after this. It's kind of weird. The fetish is weird.
Just like, why are you so obsessed with me? Shout out to Mariah Carey. Oh, why are you so obsessed with me?
Mel need to get a straight order with Marsau. I'm trying to tell you.
Between him and her ex-husband.
Yeah. They battling for you
like,
now.
Damn.
And Letitia just sitting there stupid like, why is he staring Mel like that? That's because he like her.
I cannot.
But y'all, it was an eventful episode. Y'all be sure to hit our comments. Let us know how y'all feel. There was a lot that happened. I'm trying to tell y'all. It was kind of... You may need a drink just to kind of take it all in.
I'm definitely getting a drink. Definitely.
Y'all definitely let us know in the comments. Ask us some questions. Y'all have conversation. Continue to like and subscribe. And do not miss out on this week's episode. I'm trying to tell you, man, I'm about to do some things now. But we want y'all to have a great rest of y'all week. Have a great weekend.
Yes.
And we will catch y'all on the flip side. Like I said, stay out the streets.
Bye.